Hello and welcome to the Hallway Healthcare training video for Skilled Nurse Visit Note. You will come to the login screen by going to hallway.devero.com and you're going to log in. For the Skilled Nurse Visit Note, you want to go and select your patient. So type in test and it will come up. I'm going to select it. Here is Skilled Nurse Visit Note. Click on that. Create. Okay. And here is the Skilled Nurse Visit Note. So your Skilled Nurse Visit Note is for the entirety of your shift. So if you work 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., then your time in over here to the right will be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. This is for your entire shift. And you will only have one of these for your entire shift. Now the Skilled Nurse Visit Note is a head-to-toe assessment. So you're just going to go through here and select what pertains to your patient. So were there medication changes since the last visit? No. ER or observation visits since the last visit? No. Pulse is 74. Apical, regular. Blood pressure is 120/80. I did it sitting on the left arm. Temperature was 97.8. Oral Fahrenheit. Respirations were 17. Regular. Blood sugar, if they need their blood sugar, blood glucose assessed. Patient caregiver self-monitoring, if they're monitoring those themselves while there is not a nurse there, if there isn't a nurse there at a given time. And then additional vital signs, you could put your additional vital signs or details of the vital signs here. The weight, SpO2, PT-INR, standard precautions, you verified the patient's name and date of birth. Pain, this is all about pain assessment. Just go in here, click through here. If your patient is having pain, integumentary, go through here and select what you need to select that pertains to your patient. If your patient has a surgical wound, if there is a wound, you're going to go over here and drag the numbers to where the patient has a wound. And then these are for every wound that the patient has. If the patient has no wounds, then you scroll to the bottom and select Save. So like I said, this is a basic head-to-toe assessment, so everything is still clicking what pertains to your patient. It says cardiopulmonary, select everything you need to select. Breath sounds, if they're all clear, select all clear, clear, X's wherever they need to be in here. Go through here, go through here, talking about the patient's urine output. If you're monitoring eyes, nose, put that in there as well. If this patient has a catheter, you want to be monitoring their catheter every shift. Bowel movement, constipation, the bowel movement consistency. Even if you're not monitoring the patient's bowel movement consistency, if the patient doesn't let you see his or her bowel movement, you want to be asking what the stool looked like, or how felt, if they were straining, anything like that. Their appetite, their bowel sounds, you want to be listening to their bowel sounds. And here's for blood glucose monitoring. Neurological, emotional, cognitive, musculoskeletal, Infusion, you select NA. Unless they went to the hospital or went to see their doctor and did get an infusion, then you would be writing that in a care coordination note. Eligibility. This is the only part where you're going to have to enter some other things in besides clicking through the head-to-toe assessment. So eligibility. You're going to go to homebound status. So you can either click in here and select something from here, or you can go to insert from template, just like we do in the SOAPy notes, and go through the same process. So so if the patient doesn't leave the home and the doctor comes to see him, then you can use this one. Reasons patient leaves the home and duration of absences, medical and personal appointments. This is a good one. My patient does leave the home for medical and personal appointments. So I'm going to select that. And then in the comments, you're going to elaborate on the patient leaving the home for medical and personal appointments. So elaborate. Interventions, these are the interventions that you performed. So, so for interventions, you can select any interventions that you like, that you did perform during your visit. So when you select, just go through and select them and insert them here. Then you're going to elaborate again. On your interventions and education provided. Response to interventions, education. So I'm going to put the patient's response here. The goals, same thing. You're going to go through and pick a few goals that you talked to your patient about, or goals that you know, you were trying to meet or that you did meet during your time with the patient. Select them and insert to template. Ongoing skills needed. Ongoing skill needed. So you're just going to elaborate on the goals or skills. Okay. Supervisory visit, you will not be using this box. Care coordination. If the patient goes to see the doctor or has a change in medication, anything pertaining to that, you'll be filling this out. But you'll also be filling out an actual care coordination note that is in a separate form. So if there were changes made to plan of care, I would select this, specify MD added new medication to patient's plan of care. Patient's representative and caregiver agreed to and participated in development. Update of the plan of care, yes. The care coordination was made with the physician because he prescribed the new medication. It was made with the case manager because you reported it to the case manager. And you, the skilled nurse. Care coordination details, you can just say CCN note because you're going to be filling out a separate care coordination note. Okay? Then down here, plans for next visit, assessment, teaching, treatments, and the assessment. You can put anything you like, or you can put continue to monitor for change of condition every shift. Teaching, if you want to put anything that you taught in here, patient education, treatments, procedures, therapy, any treatments that you provided. You know, you can, if you provided some wound care, you can put wound care provided. See wound care flow sheet, because the wound care flow sheet is what you'll be using when you provide wound care. And then you're going to put the next doctor appointment, follow up, and the name of the physician. So if you're done with this for now, say you just filled this out at 7:30 because you got to shift at 7 a.m. and you performed your head-to-toe assessment, you got all of your patient's information. Now you want to save it, because if something changes throughout the day, or maybe you have to stay over a little bit on your shift, you want to be able to change this. So you're going to hit save, and it'll take you back to the home page. Now it is 7 p.m. or 6:45 p.m., almost ready to get off shift. I want to make sure my notes are turned in. So I'm going to go to patient chart, scroll to the bottom. Here's my skilled nurse visit note that I just did. Make sure the time is correct, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yep, I'm going to be leaving on time today. The nurse is on her way. I don't need to add anything at this time. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom. I don't have to click save because I didn't do anything or make any changes. I'm just going to select send to office. Complete with signature. And I'm done. You can scroll to the bottom to make sure that your note was turned in. If it's bold and blue writing, it was turned in. And over here to the right, it says sent to office. So my notes were turned in for that day.